Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 best movie endings of 2024. From heartwarming dramas to spine-chilling horrors, this year delivered some of the most unforgettable cinematic conclusions. Let's dive in and celebrate the finales that kept us talking long after the credits rolled. Here, 2024, every moment, every memory, here. The latest offering from Robert Zemeckis unfolds across vast spans of time, but is confined to a single location. It shows the inhabitants of one plot of land over the decades, each with their own struggles and triumphs. Often, shots of the same place at different times are projected side by side on screen. Overall, the movie received mixed reviews, with many finding the conceit a little too gimmicky and not that groundbreaking given all the single-shot movies there have been already. Nevertheless, the ending is certainly worthy of some props. In Here's final moments, it abandons its frozen camera perspective, with the camera instead panning around the room, showing it from the perspective of an aged Margaret, now battling dementia. The pan continues until the house's exterior can be seen. While not enough to salvage the movie, it's a fitting conclusion and a neat visual trick. Small things like these, 2024. It's the small things that make a difference. Cillian Murphy delivers yet another stirring performance in this poignant drama set in 1985. He is Bill Furlong, a coal merchant who uncovers unsettling secrets within a local convent. The movie, based on Claire Keegan's novella, is light and mean, clocking in at just 98 minutes, yet full of moving moments and food for thought. The ending has a quiet power, with Bill removing a girl named Sarah, Zara Devlin, his mother's name, from one of the convents, known as a Magdalene Laundry. These were church-run institutions that took in supposedly fallen women and made them do unpaid labor. Bill walks with Sarah through their small town in full view of many people he knows. He carries Sarah into his own home, welcoming her in and breaking into a smile to show that she's safe. It's one of 2024's most heartwarming movie moments, if still a bittersweet one. Late Night with the Devil, 2024. Tonight, the devil is in the details. One of the year's standout horrors, Late Night with the Devil unfolds during a live television broadcast in the 1970s. Fading talk show host Jack Delroy, David Dastmalchian, brings a supposedly possessed young girl, Ingrid Torelli, on air, but the seance spirals out of control, unleashing sinister forces that wreak havoc in the studio and reveal hidden darkness in Jack's own life. The movie is mostly a slow burn until all hell breaks loose in the climax. The demon in Lily assumes its true electric form, bodies are hurled about the room, and Jack stumbles through a dreamscape of memories, fears, and past mistakes. It's a fitting payoff for all that's gone before, and it works so well because Jack is such a layered and well-acted character. In many ways, Late Night with the Devil is more of a character study, exploring the price of chasing fame and fortune at the cost of one's soul. Juror number 2, 2024. In the pursuit of justice, the truth is not always clear. One of the more interesting courtroom dramas in recent years, Clint Eastwood's Juror number 2 features Nicholas Hoult in one of his best performances as Justin Kemp, a juror who realizes he may be involved in the murder case he is deliberating. As the trial progresses, he grapples with his conscience and the moral dilemma of whether to reveal his potential guilt, which could upend the judicial process and shatter his life. Justin is a fundamentally decent person, seriously reckoning with the problem in front of him, making the movie genuinely tense and engaging. At first, he guns for a hung jury to spare the defendant from life in prison, but later comes to believe that sending the man away is the only way to protect himself and his family. But after the conviction, prosecutor Faith Killebrew, Toni Collette, deduces the truth. In one of the year's hardest hitting closing shots, she turns up at Justin's front door. A Different Man, 2024. Who am I if not myself? Sebastian Stan leads this one as Edward, a man with neurofibromatosis who undergoes facial reconstructive surgery. Now looking handsome, he assumes a new identity and claims that the old Edward committed suicide. But then Edward, now going by Guy, meets Oswald, Andrew Pearson, another man with the same condition. But Oswald is happy, confident and popular, living the life that Edward believed his looks prevented him from having. This sends Edward's mind spiraling in dark directions, and he comes to resent Oswald, especially when the latter starts playing Edward in a play based on his life. It's a clever, fascinating, unpredictable film that avoids the expected narrative developments. It ends sharply, with Edward in a restaurant with Oswald and his former lover, Ingrid, Renate Reinsve. The camera zooms in on Edward's darkly smiling, handsome face as Oswald says off-screen, "My friend, you haven't changed a bit." Honora, 2024. Jealousy is a disease. Remember that, Diamond. Mikey Madison significantly upped her game with her lead role in Sean Baker's latest, playing the feisty Russian-speaking stripper Ani. She begins sleeping with Ivan, the young son of a Russian oligarch, who seems to offer her every luxury under the sun. The two have a whirlwind marriage, but Ivan's powerful parents marshal all the tools at their disposal to break them apart, including sending hired thugs to prevent Ani from fleeing. The resulting movie is frenetic, grimly funny, and incredibly raw, with the director also getting more ambitious with his storytelling. The conclusion is heartbreaking, with the usually stony Ani finally dropping her guard and initiating sex with Igor Yura Borisov, one of the oligarch's cronies who showed her a little kindness. Ani then breaks down weeping, her face unseen, all the weight of the events hitting her at once, her future suspended, uncertain. Challengers, 2024. In the game of love and tennis, the lines are never clear. One of Luca Guadagnino's most enjoyable movies, Challengers explores the fractious love triangle between Tashi Duncan, Zendaya, a former tennis prodigy turned coach, her tennis star husband Art, Mike Feist, and his rival and former best friend Patrick, Josh O'Connor. It's a steamy, energetic, time-twisting drama about sport, passion, and sacrifice, demonstrating the director's usual visual flair. The conclusion is a great fusion of emotional turmoil and sporting struggle, intertwining Art and Patrick's pivotal match with revelations about the characters' pasts. There's a great callback to Patrick earlier, using his tennis racket to tell Art that he and Tashi slept together. A mean bit of psychological warfare on the court, but the real masterstroke here is the closing shot, where Art steals the win, his first time beating Patrick. Rather than being angry or sad, Patrick embraces Art, smiling, proud. What a roller coaster. Conclave, 2024. When the door closes, only the truth remains. Perhaps the leading contender for Best Picture at this moment, this engrossing political drama unfolds within the cloistered halls of the Vatican, where the cardinals assemble to elect a new pope. Cardinal Lawrence Ralph Fiennes has the unenviable task of managing the proceedings. As alliances form and secrets surface, Lawrence must confront his own doubts and convictions while uncovering a shocking revelation that could alter the church's future. The plot is delectably juicy throughout, with continuous reversals and setbacks. One candidate holds the cards, moments later they're knocked out of the running. This continues right up till the end, with the reluctant Lawrence finally accepting the possibility of being pope. But then the scenario shifts yet again, with religious violence outside the building and the enigmatic new Cardinal Benitez, Carlos Dietz, clinching the election. In a final twist and jab at the church's archaic gender roles, it turns out that Benitez has both male and female sex organs. "I am what God made me," he says. Oddity, 2024. My sister and I were identical, so that must mean that she didn't look stupid either. Oddity is a marvelous low-budget horror that does so much with its small cast and limited locations. After Dani, Carolyn Bracken, is murdered, HR blind psychic sister Darcy, also played by Bracken, sets out to avenge her. This leads to an intense showdown with Danny's narcissistic doctor husband, Ted, Gwilym Lee, witchcraft versus all too human evil. The whole movie is strong, but the final shot is brilliant. It's a callback to an earlier scene where Tim visited Darcy in her shop and the two spoke about a supposedly cursed bell that is alleged to be able to summon the ghost of a dead bellhop. The arrogant, coldly scientific Ted rings the bell and smirks, safe in his belief that there are no ghouls or spirits out there to hurt him. Then the camera pulls back and we see the spectral bellhop standing beside Ted, his face a mean blank mask. Perfection. Dune Part 2, 2024, Lead Them to Paradise. Claiming the top spot on this list, perhaps unsurprisingly, is the incendiary, chill-inducing conclusion to Denis Villeneuve's 1-2 punch of Dune adaptations. It tops off one of the most dramatic character arcs in recent cinema, with Paul Atreides, Timothée Chalamet, now leader of the Fremen, and a revered prophet with a messianic, possibly apocalyptic vision. He's utterly unrecognizable from the green kid the viewer meets at the start of the first movie. Paul is now a force to be reckoned with, but there's also a dark side to him. His mission means war and mass death, and he tolerates no opposition. In this regard, he's frighteningly similar to his villainous grandfather, Baron Harkonnen, Stellan Skarsgård. The only one who seems to have doubts about Paul is Chai, Zendaya, bringing home how Paul's transformation has removed him further from real love and connection. No other film ending this year was quite so memorable. And that's our list of the top 10 best movie endings of 2024. Which one gave you chills, thrills, or tears? Let us know your favorite in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more top 10s. Until next time, keep watching and enjoying great movies.